Welcome back, beautiful people. Three Amigos podcast. Chris and Frankie here. We're back.
Yep.
We are talking about AEW Collision, the new show, the brand split. It's apparently going forward. It's going to happen. Starts in June.
Worst kept secret.
Yeah. I guess we'll just dive in. Frankie, do you think this is a good idea?
I think we're on the same page, you and I. We've been on the same wavelength. They should have just stuck it with Rampage. Like Rampage should have just been the other show and just kept it at the same, like make it go live and maybe add another hour or hour and a half or a half hour. Just, like I get the like there'd be the sense of like, oh, they're copying from WWE. I mean, regardless, nothing that WWE has been that original. There's weekly wrestling television has been around forever.
Right. They don't own the idea.
Yeah, they don't own the idea. I mean, WCW did it and everyone loved it. I mean, some people point to the fact that when WCW added, I think it was Thunder, right? Or something like that. I think that was when they did that show. That's when the things went downhill for them. But that's a whole other discussion. There's a whole debate based off of that. This is now. WWE runs 3 shows live now.
Yeah.
Is NXT still live?
That's a good question.
I mean,
I think. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think so. Because they post about it. Yeah. They live tweet it on Twitter as it's on.
Like it comes off like, to me sometimes, and I know they do pre-record, they pre-tape some things just like
SmackDown. Like the backstage stuff. I'm sure.
Not just that, but like I know when there's like traveling, like when they go to like if they have to go across a pond for like a tour,
right.
They're like planning on like being across the pond in the UK or somewhere in Europe.
Yeah,
they do pre-tape SmackDown because it's later over there, and then they
right.
So, anyways, it's a good idea. I was very surprised when they even had a second show when it came to Rampage. So like, and I liked Rampage. The 1 hour slots, I think, always 1 hour wrestling where it's like, it's enough. Like you can do a few backstage stuff, like progress the story, and it's exciting to know that it should be a 2 hour show, right? I don't remember much of the details now. I just know it's Collision on Saturdays.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I think that's kind of a weird day. Like I mean,
it is. That's another big thing I didn't like was Saturday. I'm like, this feels like it's like Velocity and Heat all over again.
Well, I was thinking like it's weird because a lot of the times now WWE runs their pay-per-views on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So they are, and it's gonna be a weekly show. So like eventually they're gonna be going up against WWE pay-per-views, and assuming that they're just gonna take a major ratings hit because people like wrestling. So.
I don't like it.
But you can't put it on Friday because they don't want to go up against SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could do Wednesday, Thursday, but I'm sure TNT has like reasons for Saturday. Just it's kind of.
To be fair, Saturday is like a nightly dead zone for watching TV, in my opinion, because it's so if they can maintain like good viewership, because it's all even Fridays it's a tough sell. I didn't like that SmackDown went to Fridays again, or I think they used to be a Friday. They were. I remember growing up, it was Thursdays. I think then it went to Friday and to Tuesday.
Yeah, they went Tuesday for a little while, then they went.
I like the Tuesday slot for SmackDown. That was good.
Yeah, me too.
I don't mind back-to-back wrestling as long as it's good quality. And when it was peak good writing, which for whatever odd reason, I guess because maybe Brian was helping Brian was helping out backstage because he was hurt,
right?
And that's why SmackDown was banging. I don't know. With creative,
bro, back in the day with the SmackDown, the SmackDown 6 2.0 with like. Yeah, Andrade, AJ Styles. Oh man, Dean Ambrose. So good.
Yeah, AJ Styles just being WWE champ there. Like that.
John
This is
Cena. Oh man.
yeah, like that stuff was good. So like I don't like I know we're supposed to be talking about Collision, but it's hard not to compare the two, obviously.
Wait, did you see how similar the AEW Collision and WCW Nitro logos are?
It was very scary. Yes.
It's a one of one. I think, okay, I don't know why everybody's freaking out because I think it's just paying homage. I just think it's,
Sure.
maybe funny because WCW like
I don't know
totally
why,
carved
because Eric
out.
Bischoff hates you. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
uh,
Tony's a wrestling fan, so
yeah, I guess so.
you know, is what it is. This
I'm
guy's
excited.
comic.
When they released the poster, I was like, oh shit, they put Andrade right in there. It's like a Miro. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
And it is needed. It is needed. I think it's needed
kind of
because
leads me into what my next
yeah,
question here. Elephant in the room. It
yeah.
sounds like at the moment, maybe unless we're all being worked, it sounds like CM Punk's not going to be part of the show.
I
Uh,
think we're being worked.
yeah. Either way, honestly, I don't care. I don't want him back anyway. But
Hmm.
I was wondering, like, do you think like it's cool that like Andrade's on the poster, Miro's on the poster? A lot of people, hopefully, who have been banished to Rampage will actually like get to do stuff on Collision. Do you think it kind of hurts though that a lot of these guys straight up haven't even been on television for a long time? So like to use them as the promotion for your new show, do you think, I mean, CM Punk maybe not, but do you think they need like a big person to put on that, I guess like second brand now?
I mean, if so, so your your A and B brand or A and A1 brand
Yeah.
or
Because Rampage, they
A
said
and
it's going to
lowercase a.
basically turn into Dark. And it's going to be
Yes,
used for like enhancement or
which
not
is
enhancement, but
fine.
like more rookie talent.
Just to get TV exposure, which I loved, and that's why I was a little bit sad when I heard Dark was going, like Dark. um, no pun intended, JK. So I love Rampage. I thought it was a great idea, and I was again shocked that they got a second TV slot so quickly. Now they're getting an 8 o'clock time slot on a Saturday. That's a lot to commit. Like I like going out occasionally, and I like or like just playing video games and staying in. So like this is good. Do they need a big talent for this second show to like officially split? It's hard to say no when I am leaning towards yes. So I think they would. They do need it. Because MJF is yes the champion for the entire company.
Right.
However, he can easily just he's the slot for or Wednesday nights. He's the Wednesday guy. He's the middle of the day, the best part of the week, best part.
Yeah.
You can build upon that, and then you can build upon the next best part of the week, the weekend, where it's like you can have a better another part of the not a better, but like another good, right at the top main eventer, superstar who's ready to maybe not maybe, but there's actually a lot of people who are just like who could just be it already, like
So
Darby, Darby.
who should if you're gonna put, let's say, like a main event draw
Hmm.
on Collision that isn't CM Punk, who do you think they should take from? Because essentially it sounded like kind of a hard brand split besides MJF, like besides the champions.
Hmm.
Sounded like a hard brand split, which I guess is kind of the opposite of a hard brand split. But so someone would have to come off of Dynamite
Hmm.
and you're putting them on Saturdays, basically exclusively.
Yeah,
Who could they do that with?
I mean, honestly, you could do that with like I said, you could do that with a lot of people. Right off the bat, I already said like Darby Allin. That I get it. Like, maybe he might not be the biggest draw, but he's still a draw.
I could see
If
it.
you
You need
want
a
to be
baby face, right? Because
get a baby
Miro,
face.
Andrade, those are and
Yeah.
MJF. So right away you have like three heels.
I mean, if we're gonna go like top like A-list star for sure, and it's had he not gotten hurt, easy slot in, but I think it's still, in my opinion, easy slot in. Adam Cole. Adam Cole.
Yeah.
He's a former champ. former indie darling. He's still hot. He's still getting those loud pop reactions. He's still got the boom.
Yeah,
Having that on a Saturday, having fan interactions, someone who knows how to work the crowd, it's
that'd be pretty
great.
good. Yeah.
I think that's what you need. You need a hype man. So, you know, you can also the tag. You can make more new tag teams. The tag team division's pretty stacked. Uh, so you could put get more exposure there. Or I think the trios champs are going to be technically going to be moving there. It seems because they were on the
It'd be
poster,
yeah.
which
It'd
is
be good
fine.
to who's the is Freshly Squeezed still the international champion?
Yeah, man, you were out of it. Yeah,
So I guess put him on that show too. Him
yeah.
or whoever the
One
fuck
of the
is the
mid
TNT
card.
champion right now.
Who's the
One of them
TNT?
has to
Yeah. Oh,
go.
it's Wardlow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then obviously it's not if it's not CM Punk, it's I think you could easily put like Adam Cole there, Darby, even maybe like if you're gonna make a second title, finally can you put it on Eddie Kingston, even though I know he's his own worst enemy.
Mm,
Um, but man, imagine had he like been, you know, had Collision existed and had he kept the momentum he's had, like that
yeah.
that would have worked great for him. I think Hook's still over, right? So give him, put him on there.
That'd be
Uh,
good. That'd be
uh,
good.
Jay White, that could be your heel for that show. Imagine Jay
Oh
White.
man, they got to get Jay White. They got to break him off with Juice Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a big turn, maybe turn Juice
Yeah.
face. Even though I know Juice is doing his best work now as a heel, which is completely fine. But
I know they've been good. I don't like that Jay
he's
already
a
feels kind of just like a
mid.
average.
I know he was really on top of the world. It's okay though, because like, hey, you're the new guy, but I get it. I know, like and even in WWE, they've done that, man. Like, come on,
Now that
like,
yeah, no, I know the same thing probably would have happened in
yeah,
WWE.
like,
Sometimes I don't know if you feel this way too, but it feels like sometimes there are these guys that just like should have stayed in New Japan.
yeah,
Like I
for
know
sure.
the appeal of leaving, but it's like you really do become a small fish in a big pond. Like it just
Yeah.
these other, AEW and WWE, though their rosters are just so massive
Hmm.
that even someone as over as Jay White. I mean, the same thing kind of happened to Adam Cole when he first went to AEW. Like,
Yeah, a little bit
there's
for
him
sure.
and Danielson debuted on the same night, and then Danielson went up the card, and Adam Cole just kind of hung around doing stuff.
Yeah, I think Keith Lee hopefully maybe could find his way over to Collision and Swerve. They could just have banger of matches going back and forth. Um, maybe
Yeah.
feed over a mid card title. I don't know. There's a lot of potential now. Now that they like we like
Yes.
look, we've been saying it and like we know we've been like subtly saying it, but like let's fully just dress it. They have way too many people in the roster, and this definitely alleviates the pressure of trying to get everyone or not even get everyone. People are blatantly excluded. Like Miro was gone for almost an entire year for no reason.
Yeah. Perfectly healthy. Just
Perfectly healthy. He's
literally like never on television. Same with Andrade. Like
yeah.
just
I
didn't
mean,
want
to
to
be
didn't
fair,
use him.
yeah, didn't
Yeah.
use him, but also he was getting himself in trouble, and he looked like he wanted to get fired.
Yeah, it
Uh,
did seem like he was trying to get fired.
yes, which I think he's like shit. Maybe I don't want to go back over there
I
again.
mean, oh, but he would have been.
Yeah, let's not think
Yeah,
about
he
it.
they
Let's
could
not
have
talk
put
about
him in the LWO, man.
it. Yeah, but that would have easily. I'm sure that's gonna get disbanded too, man. Come on, come on,
If
come on.
this collision show, because Tony has a bit of a track record of getting bored with his new toys very quickly,
Sure.
because that's what happened to Rampage. Like you
Mm-hmm.
go back a couple of years and look at like the matches that were on Rampage,
Mm-hmm.
and then look at what happened to Rampage since then, where it's basically turned into like
Mm-hmm.
just kind of a random hour of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I really hope that this show is like a fully fleshed out, taken seriously like second brand.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like all under the AEW umbrella, but like I hope that the show is like treated seriously and
Mm-hmm.
not like, oh, these are all the B+ guys that couldn't cut it on Wednesdays,
Sure.
Because Andrade and Miro, those are not B+ guys. Those are like legit main event talents
Mm-hmm.
that, just like Brian Cage, like just dudes that weren't being used. Don't really know why, other than not really having any ideas to book them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wonder, like we said, obviously, you have to put a few titles exclusive to Collision if you want it to be taken seriously as like not just a an extra show. Do you think they eventually introduce like a second world title?
I would hope, honestly, like if they really do want to do this split, um, I think you do. I think you have to, man. I feel like you have to put a world title in. You already have two mid titles, so you
Right.
gotta like, I don't buy into this narrative that oh it devalues your world title. No, it doesn't. Um, because I think, in my opinion, like WWE has done it successfully at times. Except when the brand split is actually a brand split.
Right, right.
Um, I know they've already like giving us or throwing out like just trying to like calm us down to make to like solidify that this is like a loose brand split also.
Yeah.
Um, so like again, it's like okay, but there's still like it frees up rosters for the roster to like expand and get people on television and not hide them on YouTube. Um,
Dude, the number of times I saw Keith Lee's name in the AEW Dark titles, I was just like,
mhm.
you've got to be joking.
Yeah.
Same with Claudio. Just like some of these guys, you see them and you're like, what are they doing on the like
Hmm.
the non-televised AEW stuff? This is crazy. I mean, Keith Lee, I was browsing Twitter the other day and I saw
Hmm.
somebody make the argument that Gunther is what Keith Lee could have been in
Oh
WWE
no.
if
How
he
angry
had
were you?
taken his health a little bit more seriously.
All right. I got it.
Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I honestly, I love Keith Lee. I can't argue against that. He let himself go a lot, and he part of it is because he had like a legitimate health like problem.
Hmm.
But if you see him now, he's just not moving the same way anymore, and it's
Yeah.
kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of don't hate the tag team with him and Gold Dust as much as I thought I would.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, like Keith Lee, they cooled him off so much
Hmm.
that I kind of feel like I'm at a point now where it's like, you know what? As long as he's on TV, man, it's like start to slowly rehab him. I'm also not against like a heel Keith Lee character if he like turned on Goldust, who's just a very lovable
Yeah, and if he ever played
face.
a heel, he was very like um cocky. That was his
Because
like
he's so
character. He was cocky.
intimidating. He's
That too, yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
It's basically what made Walter so special. He's just fucking a giant who will just like
Hmm.
squish you.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited to see a lot of these guys get a shot. But I agree with you, man. As much as I love MJF as AEW champion, and it feels like it'd almost be impossible for a character like him to not insult a second title as being beneath him, as being second place. It feels like if you are going to have a legitimate second brand,
Hmm.
you kind of need a main event title. Because if you have a mid card, international or TNT, whatever, and then you have a tag belt, tag or trios, it feels like you need the one more, and then maybe Jade Cargill goes to Collision because you need like a women's title. It feels like the
Hmm.
next step would be to have a main event belt on a main event type. Maybe it's Darby, maybe it is CM Punk, maybe it's Adam Cole. Feels like someone at that level, there should be they shouldn't be fighting over the
Yeah.
international championship.
Yeah. A heel Daniel Bryan being a champ. Even though I think he I think that like right when all the stuff was going on with Brawlin, uh I think it was like I don't know if it was rumor or was confirmed like he didn't really want to win the belt.
Didn't want to be AEW champion, but
Yeah.
that's an interesting point. Now you kind of got me thinking like I wouldn't be totally against the Blackpool Combat Club being split up and
That
like
too.
maybe Brian and Yuta and then Mox.
Hmm.
Or I don't know, you could put Mox on Saturdays because some of this, like whenever, like when WWE does the draft, part of what you're looking for is fresh matchups. And so, I don't know, maybe Mox on Saturdays. There might be him and Adam Cole could do some stuff because Adam Cole's he's gonna end up being a babyface. It just
Yeah.
you or tweener
Which is
whatever, but
crazy.
like
Yeah, tweener.
regardless, people are gonna cheer him. It just he's too cool. He's
Yeah.
just too cool.
He's
It's
got
not
the
his
girl,
fault.
he's got the looks, he's got the
Yeah,
move.
it just he's just too cool. They cheered him in NXT and he was a heel the whole time. So
Yeah.
like it's impossible to avoid. But yeah, and I wouldn't be against maybe them splitting up. I mean, only because BCC is a four-person group,
Right.
so you could chuck two of them on one brand and two of them on the other, and that way you have them on the same brand. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see like if this works,
Right.
because I mean, Warner Bros is paying for like a legitimate second show. I don't think they want to see
Mm-hmm.
Rampage ratings. Like, I think that's I guess the last thing I wanted to bring up. It seemed like at the beginning of this collision stuff, and I don't know if this was how it is behind the scenes, but the perception for me
Mm-hmm.
was that the only reason they even created this show was to get CM Punk back.
Yeah.
So if he's not coming back, I mean, I mean to me it feels like they kind of would just rather cancel the whole thing if they actually can't get him because it's already gonna be hard enough to get people to watch on a Saturday night. And now you're not, whether we like him or not,
Yeah.
people still tune in if CM Punk's name is mentioned.
I think they'll tune in just to watch him, like see what he'll do, if he'll crack
Right.
under pressure, or if
He,
he'll just or he'll just go off script and just cuss out everybody because
dude,
he's
he's
a
a
grumpy
lightning
old man.
rod. He
Yeah.
just people are just interested in what he might say. And if he's not coming back, I feel like this might be a little bit of a rough start. I mean, I know Dave Meltzer already said they were having some slow-ish ticket sales, probably because they haven't confirmed whether or not CM Punk will actually be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he is, you assume he'd be there every week.
Yeah.
And if he's not, then as much as I love Adam Cole, he's not moving tickets the same way CM Punk would. He's just not as mainstream of a name. So I kind of wonder, like, how does this all work if CM Punk isn't gonna be there? I guess that's not to say that he maybe eventually wouldn't. Like there's no it's not like there's a deadline. Like they could sign him 6 months from now and put him on Collision.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it seemed like from the outside, the whole point of the second show was like this is the only way he's gonna come back because the Bucks and Kenny don't and a lot of people backstage don't want to work with him.
Yeah.
So they need a second show basically where they were gonna put all the people that don't hate him.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no CM Punk, then I wonder if that kind of mixes up who they were going to put on the show. I don't know. They already put out the poster, so I don't know. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be very interesting. There's a lot of positives to take out, mainly positives. The negatives obviously are also obvious, but we can't latch onto those. We can only really let's talk about the good. And the good is, I guess. Oh, sorry, I just thought about the one negative. Negative is you get like a toxic person like Punk back, but it brings the eyes back to the product, and hopefully the success it just comes, and then hopefully Punk can grow up and stop being a grumpy old man and make some money. And like he said in the past, I mean, not verbally, but at least typing it out, it's like, he'll put his size differences to make a lot of money, which is, let's face it, uh, I'm sorry, diehards. He came back for the bag of money, and that's what he said he would come back for, which is
Yes.
loads of money. It's there's receipts. As much as he said, like, yeah, I came back not just for the fans, I came back to finish business. That's all nice and said, but also at the end of the day, he's a man who at the time when he came back was in his 40s, early 40s to mid 40s, and a big deposit when it a big deposit was deposited into his account and said,
Mm-hmm.
"All right, time to say those good things." If you are denying that, I'm sorry. It's not an opinion, it's a fact that you were just turning a blind eye and that you're ignoring the obvious. And that and I'm not even gonna say he's greedy, because I would do it too.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would
Dude,
do
they're
it
gonna
too.
build a whole show around me just to get me to come back? Pay
Yeah.
me a fat bag, of course.
And even then, like they're building this show and probably with incentives on top of what he's already making.
Oh, for
Potentially,
sure.
potentially. We don't know. We don't know the story. We don't work backstage, but let's face it, he only came back and will only continue to come back and perform for loads of money. He's getting those loads of money. He's got a contract to fulfill. He'll do it probably. Do we want it? Some of us don't. I definitely don't. I don't care for the guy. Never did that much. I never thought he was that great of a wrestler, but that was a character. But
Yeah.
if it brings eyes onto the product and it allows you to see the Lucha Bros, House of Black, Orange Cassidy, people that you are sleeping on or never heard of,
Yeah.
amazing. That's what we want. That's what we want as some of us who appreciate indie wrestling. Like I try to go almost every month now to the indie shows here in the city, and it's just been fantastic of a ride. I've had a great time. Fatu is a great dude. He's taking pictures with me every time. I love that guy. Uh, I wish somebody would pick him up, but he's having a good time in MLW. See, like that. Like if like this is a great example. You build up a guy. You build up like MLW has low key been like creating a lot of great talent, or at least putting their trust in them, and then other people wind up taking them, which is fine. It's not
Hmm.
that bad of an idea, you know. Because it's like MLW is like what it is. It is like technically mainstream, but it's not anywhere on the levels of even what ROH was at the time. Nowhere near on that. But they still have the deals in place. They get advertisements. They have house shows, or not house shows, but they have shows.
Hmm.
And they built up Fatu. Now Fatu traveling the world and having great matches, people wanting him to be their champions and all around these indie promotions. Hammerstone is a big name that even WWE wanted him at some point.
Yep.
So like they're low key doing like a great thing by having shows and doing tapings and also allowing their talent to spread out and continue to like kind of build that name for them. So when they're on MLW, it's like, oh shit, I gotta watch because fucking Fatu's on. I want to watch him because I love watching him live. Why I'm not gonna watch him on TV? So like, and I know like AEW's kind of done that, and they assign people with established names already, but you gotta also do that for like the people who maybe are on the cusp of breaking it into like the mid card or even or higher. You know, Darby still kind of does dates here and there, I think, but very rarely. John, the reason people love John, that's another reason why people love John so much. John Moxley, because he was doing shit on GCW, putting his body
Hmm.
on the line, doing death matches while also doing fucking death matches on AEW. Who does that shit? To be fair, that's probably another reason why he was drinking so much. But he's since slowed down, taking care of himself. Looks great. Probably an amazing
Yeah.
father. It's like this is what happens when you trust your talent and also you have the backing of your boss, and your team essentially. So like, just what I want AEW to do is just pretty much like let your talent grow, and this second show will definitely help them. But get the reps in, not just on dark, but let them go out there. I know they're contractually obligated to be with you, and you don't want to like again kind of getting your investment hurt. That I get why WWE doesn't do that, especially if they're giving tens of millions of dollars to like Roman Reigns. He's never gonna show up in a dinky gym ever again for whatever reason, like in a church in Brooklyn or in like a gymnasium in California. Like I get it, um, but for some of these dudes like Action Andretti, I think he still does indie dates, but like let him keep sending him places. Even like that, send him to New Japan. Wheeler Yuta, they let him do the best of the Super Juniors. Amazing. Keep letting him do
Hmm.
that. Keep letting him get those reps and like let him get that exposure so that way, He does. It's like the old territory days. And as I remember, because I watched the Iron Claw, the Von Erich's um biopic. It's like they went to different territories, and that's how when you go to those different territories, that's how you build up a reputation, and that's how you got TV time. Now, yes, you're on national TV all the time, but not everyone's gonna see that. Now everyone's gonna see your not everyone's gonna want to watch your product. And AEW, as fortunate as they have, there's still a lot of work to be done. So you still want those eyes on you. There's people who don't want to pull away from WWE, and you might never get them, and that's okay. But do right by your talent and do right by their fans who do love indie wrestling and who do love the style that you're giving them. Because again, the owner is a huge fan, which he should act like an owner and a fan and a boss more than a fan sometimes. But that's besides the point. Like just keep doing what you're doing, but like be mindful and just also maybe again for the love of God, Tony, get a fucking creative team. Do something. Like dictate and like distribute your work because the coke's gonna run out someday, man. And you're not gonna be able to do this all on your own. So
He's gonna need a team now, man. But basically trying to write 5 hours of television
dude,
a
he's
week.
he's
So
doing ROH, he did everything and he's still running the
yeah.
damn like a football team. What is he doing? Stop it.
Yeah.
Gonna have a
I mean,
brain.
I think he's been stretched too thin for a while, so hopefully
Yeah.
this like secondary or, second brand really pushes him to hire a team, man, so that these guys who are finally going to get TV time again
Mm-hmm.
actually
Yeah.
have storylines because that is one of
For
my
real.
few bones to pick with AEW. They put on a lot of great matches, but there's not really
No
anything
story.
behind those matches.
Yeah.
They're great matches, but they're not really fighting over anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, so hopefully with a fully fleshed out second brand, we start to see maybe a little bit sharper in terms of AEW storylines, which is something that they've kind of struggled with
Mm-hmm.
over the years. But hopefully, this second show leads to even more eyes on the product, and more wrestling is never a bad thing. Um, and while still WWE has a ton of TV shows, and there are still people that struggle to get the amount of time on TV that they deserve. AEW does have a slightly smaller roster, so hopefully having
Yeah.
3 shows now, 2 of them being 2 hours. Hopefully that helps pretty much everybody who needs to get on TV actually get on TV.
Also, like you just said it, 2 hours and 2 hours. We've been begging Raw like to cut it down to 2 hours. They're
Oh
going
yeah,
AEW is going to be in the perfect position for having the right amount of wrestling, except for their pay-per-views. Their pay-per-views are still fucking long. They got to fix that. But their weekly shows, 2 hours and 2 hours, sign me up. If you can change the date on Collision to like a Thursday, that'd be even better. But so
yeah.
far,
With
so
two
good.
brands now, I almost hope that maybe the next thing is 6 pay-per-views a year,
Yeah, that's the other thing.
so
Yes,
that
they're
they
thinking
can
that
shorten
that's
them
the that's
because
the that's the other story that's going around is that they will be adding
yeah,
more pay-per-views, which please. Four is good. Four is good, but don't make them
yeah,
so damn long. But six and then
yeah.
maybe
If
make
you
it shorter,
added
potential
two or
better.
three more,
Oh,
and then you shorten the pay-per-view to like 3 hours, even 3.5 hours, man.
I don't need a pay-per-view every month. Just give me enough.
Wow, they're too long. They're still too long. It's been three
Yeah.
years. They're still
Yeah.
too long.
Ah, well.
Well, that's everything.
That's everything.
Go to
Wow.
bed.
Okay.
Go to sleep.
Okay.
Even though I put these episodes out in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Take a nap.
Take a nap. Be late to work. Your boss won't mind.
Well, their
Tell them to
boss won't.
subscribe. Listen to the show at work. Come on.
Yeah. Give us a 5-star rating, please. Beautiful
Yeah, we're
people.
back now. We're talking about wrestling, right? Is everybody happy now? Okay, it's not a Returnal episode. We're not talking about Gran
Hey,
Turismo.
hey,
Wrestling.
wrestlers love pop culture too. They're part of it. So we'll
That
talk
is
whatever
true.
we want about, damn it.
That is true. It's mostly going to be wrestling, though.
Ah,
For
okay,
sure.
fine. Whatever.
All right, go to bed. Go to sleep.
Peace.